a joystick to motor. It's underneath holonomic. I think that's how you pronounce that. Holonomic. And what you're going to do is you're going to drag it into your while loop. And as soon as you drag it there, just drop it. You should get a dialog box that looks like this. Everybody good? Everybody good? Or if you have a question, raise your hand. Okay, I don't see any hands. So I'm going to assume that we don't have questions, or that we don't have hands. Okay, done. Do you mind catching them up real quick? Or okay. Alright, so because of the way that VEX produces their cortexes, one of the things that we cannot use is motor number 1. So if you look on your screen, you'll see motor, and then underneath that's a box, and in that box it says 1. We can't exactly use that, so we can use anything between 2 and 8. In this example, let's say it's motor number 4. So you're going to click on the drop-down box and set it equal to 4. Right? Another thing, on your controller, this is controller number 1. All the teams are only going to be using one controller, so you don't have to worry about setting up a second one. So joystick number is always going to be 1, and under channel, you're going to change that to whatever you want your motor to be set for. So like, in this example, it has channel number 1. That is the right joystick on your controller, and it's going left and right. Okay, so this is channel number 1. Right? And luckily, all the channels are labeled on the controller, so you'll be able to find them really easily. All right. So after we change that, we are going to click OK. Alright, so right now if we put this program onto the Cortex, we can control the motor that's in port number 4 with the right joystick going left and right. But that's all we can control. Most robots, especially for this year, you're going to be using a wheel system, and there's 2 ways to do wheels. We can either do arcade or tank. Arcade allows you to use one joystick to control both wheels by pushing them forward. Both wheels go forward. By doing right, one of the wheels will go backwards, and the one on the left will go forwards while the right one goes backwards, and you'll get a turn. And the same thing goes on the other directions. Tank allows you to use both the control sticks to go forwards, or if you wanted to go backwards, you can do backwards. But if you wanted to turn, you have to do opposite directions for your joysticks. In this case, let's use arcade. It's a little simpler. Both of them are the same on programming wise, but control wise, arcade's a little easier for people to get. Let's drag arcade to motor underneath joystick to motor, and we should get a window that looks like this. And if you get to this step, raise your hand, okay? Alright, so all hands down again. What we did is we have the forward reverse being on channel 2, which is your right joystick, and left right is being channel 1, which is once again your right joystick, but it's left and right. The problem is we've already set up a channel to use channel number 1. Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to change the forward reverse channels up here to channel 3 and the rotate channel to channel 4. So doing that, we have channel 3 and then channel 4. So we'll change it. Alright, then just click OK. Alright, if you got that, raise your hand. Good. Hands down. By the way, I will be providing a PowerPoint so that all the stuff I had labeled out. So. Alright, now let's say that your team wants to use a servo, but they want to use the buttons for the servo. Alright, you could use the joysticks, but sometimes people just like the buttons. You can also do the same thing for motors, but we're going to use the servo in this example. I do not have a servo to show you guys because they didn't have any spare ones. We are going to go to... So we will need to buy... Yeah, you'll have servos. I just didn't have any in my kit. So you'll be... So on the under joystick, you're going to go to joystick digital to servo. And drag that underneath arcade. All good? Alright. So the only thing we're going to change on this screen is we're going to change servo number to 5. Because that's the same thing as the motor numbers, which are on these ports on the Cortex. We're going to switch that to 5. The same thing applies for this as the motors. That you can only use 2 through 8. Okay. So let's just switch it to number 5 real quick. And click OK. Alright, so now I gotta ask a question. If we put this program onto the Cortex, what's going to happen? You'll be able to operate wheels, and you'll be able to operate a motor and a servo. Alright? After you turn it on. That's the key. That's a very important step. Alright, so at this point I'm actually going to show you guys how to do the downloads. I can only show you from my computer because those computers don't have Cortexes connected to them because I only have the one Cortex here. So just follow along with me, but just know that everything on my computer will not be on your computer. You're going to be using your orange cable to hook up your Cortex to your computer. Make sure you try to get in the same port so that the drivers don't have issues, because sometimes this does get upset if you plug it into the wrong port for some reason. Alright, so on EasyC, we're going to go to Build and Download, and then we're going to go to Build and Download again, because it's in the same dialog box. Click Yes, and we'll get a screen that looks like this. Okay. So you'll see it downloading the program onto the Cortex, and then we get successfully downloaded. At this point, the program we just built is now on our Cortex. And I'm going to show you guys some stuff from the internet that's going to help you on this, and then I'll show you guys the wiring, so I'll have you guys come up here and I'll demonstrate how to wire the Cortex up. So now I want you guys to go to Google Chrome or Internet Explorer, whichever one you want to use. When you get there, I want you to type in Best Robotics. You should get a page that kind of looks like this whenever you click on the very first link. Alright, is everybody there? Good? Alright, you go to Participants and Resources. And when you do that, you should get this screen. Under EasyC for Novice Programmers, if you click on that, it'll take you to a website I built about 4 years ago, I think. I built it back when I was in high school, and I've been updating it ever since. On that website, I have PowerPoint, so under PowerPoint programming for robots, gangs, LAC, everything. I'll have all of these up there. All of these steps, all of these pieces are for PowerPoints. It's exactly what I went over in this class. So if you guys have, like, if you're wanting to continue programming, you can program it for the servos using buttons or joysticks. You can do the same thing for motors. I also have wiring tutorials on here. And this year, actually last year, VEX decided to upgrade their keys. So they decided to upgrade these. And the problem was they didn't upgrade their EasyC Sofware to have that. I put 2 tutorials up under videos. So if you go up here to informational videos, I have a bunch of all of that stuff I have for upgrading these keys. I was also up very late, about 2 weeks before competition, working on that.
We never quite got that to work right.
Yeah.
You just use the old one.
Yeah. These should work using this firmware, unless VEX 5, which is the programs that I have on these computers, unless those work with these, you might want to go to these tutorials. Right now, all of these uses V4, but V4 interface and V5 interface is very similar, so it should be easy to cross stuff over. The only other thing I could say about the current programs is that the newest version of EasyC has 2 control systems it can operate. One is the VEX Cortex, which is this, and the other one is VEX IQ, which we do not use. I have no idea what it is. I've never seen it before, but make sure you use VEX Cortex. And on our box it has the Cortex label on it. Alright, do I have any questions so far?
We need to go over updating firmware at some point.
I'm not going to do that in here, but that's going to be on the PowerPoints. But if you do want to update firmware, there are, find it, there's, yep, update VEX firmware stuff. So, good question. Alright, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to have all of you guys come up here and I'm going to show you some of the wiring for this. But sometimes it doesn't. In our program, we use channels 2, 3, 4, and 5. For channels 2, 3, and 4, we ran 4 motors. So I'm going to plug this into 4 and run it off of channel number 1. Sorry, can everybody see? Plug it into 4. Now I need you to do something that we're not going to do in the competition because it's not dangerous, it's just not good. I want you to hold these like that. Make sure they stay up. Make sure they make contact. That's all that matters. Don't drop it. Don't drop it.
You're making fun of me.
And this one. Alright, and let's do a quick demonstration. There we go. Ready? Okay. So right now I'm able to control that using channel number 1, which is left and right on the right joystick. If we changed it, no, wait, don't do this part. Not while it's on. I mean, it's not going to hurt the system, but it's not great for the motors. Using channel number 3, you can control which direction it's going to go on over here. For servos, it's very similar to motors. The difference is you don't need this adapter. For servos, literally this is the only wire you're going to have. And it's literally just plug in here and plug the servo on here. Make sure all your wires are the same color when you're plugging them in. Yeah, that's basically it. Any questions? Thoughts, concerns, mean looks, nice looks, smiles? Yeah. That one.